Dear chosen ones, listen closely. What I'm about to share with you is not casual. It's not entertainment. It's divine instruction. It's revelation wrapped in urgency. If you've landed here, right now, in this exact moment, it's not by coincidence. It's because God Himself orchestrated your steps to bring you into alignment with this message. Heaven has been watching. Heaven has been waiting. And now, it's your moment. What has been hidden is about to be revealed. There's a powerful shift already unfolding in your life, whether you see it or not. And it is so monumental, so spiritually precise, that God could no longer keep it concealed. This message is not about preparing you for change. It's declaring that the change is already here. You've been sensing it. The restlessness, the spiritual downloads, the sudden clarity, the way doors are beginning to creak open that were sealed shut before. That's not just momentum, that's divine alignment. God is saying, you can handle this. That's why He's revealing it now. The delay you once questioned, it was preparation. The silence you sat in, it was recalibration. The prayers you thought were unanswered, they were being positioned for this precise moment. And now God has decided, it's your time, it's your season, it's your calling awakening fully. The dreams you've carried, the visions you've kept to yourself, the spiritual weight that sometimes made you feel too different to be understood, it's all about to make sense. This is not just a mindset shift. This is a crystalline activation of your soul. It's an energetic transformation that will ripple through your body, your relationships, your finances, your destiny. You're stepping into alignment with divine flow, and once you step into it, there's no going back. You are not who you used to be. You are becoming the version of yourself that was prophesied, refined through fire, called by name, chosen before birth. And to every one of you who has supported this sacred space through your presence, your encouragement, and especially your super thanks donations, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your giving not only sustains the mission, it helps these life-changing messages reach more chosen ones all around the world. Whether you've sown financially or simply shown up with an open heart, I am incredibly grateful. And know this, you are loved and valued just the same whether you donate or not. This space is built on calling, not currency, on purpose, not performance. Now, before we go any deeper, I want you to pause right now and leave a comment with the number 999. That number is not random. It is a signal, a spiritual stamp, a bold declaration to the universe that you're ready to align, receive, and manifest the shift that is already in motion. Let the heavens see your agreement. Let your energy echo this moment. 999 is the sign of completion and readiness for what's next. If your spirit is still here, still reading, still locked in, then you're ready. Your soul recognizes what's coming. And if you're not ready, you'll be tempted to scroll away. But if you are ready, truly ready, this message will grip you, awaken you, and elevate you beyond the limitations that tried to hold you captive. From this moment forward, everything changes. God is no longer hiding it. He has chosen you for this shift. You are the message. You are the prophecy. And now it's time to uncover what He's been preparing behind the veil. Stay locked in, because your destiny is not waiting any longer. Let's dive in. God's chosen ones, God is guiding your breakthrough. You've always felt it, haven't you? That quiet but constant hum in your soul, a vibration that didn't match the world around you. While others drifted through life, numb and unaware, you moved differently. You questioned deeper, felt heavier, saw clearer. Why? Because you were never meant to blend in. That strange feeling, that sense of being set apart, it wasn't your imagination. It was God's fingerprint on your life. And now, chosen one, the whisper you felt your whole life is becoming a divine command. Heaven is about to reveal a truth so massive, so transformational it will break every illusion and ignite your soul with purpose. But have you ever felt like your life was waiting for something to finally begin? As if you were standing on the edge of something huge but couldn't quite see it. That's not hesitation. That's divine positioning. You're not here by luck or by accident. You are here because God has chosen you for a breakthrough. And this message is the confirmation you've been praying for in silence. Just like Moses, who wandered the wilderness before hearing God call him from the burning bush, your wandering had a reason. Exodus 3:4. God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses," and Moses said, "Here I am." Now, the stirring in your spirit, it's about to erupt into awakening. You are no longer just surviving day to day. You've entered a sacred chapter, the season of divine revelation. Something inside you is being activated right now as you read these words. That dormant power, that ancient fire, it's not just potential, it's destiny, and the time has come to live it out. Let's talk about what that power looks like in action. Oprah Winfrey, raised in poverty and abuse, wasn't just lucky when she rose to global influence. She followed a calling. There was a voice deep within her spirit reminding her, "You're meant for more." And like you, she listened. Chosen one, do you hear that same voice now? Can you feel the divine press on your heart? Scripture confirms this awakening. Romans 8:28 declares, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Your life has been a sequence of divine setups. Every struggle, every detour, strategically designed for your elevation. Nothing has been wasted. Maybe you've looked at others and wondered, why do I feel like an outsider, even in rooms where I should belong? That's because you're not called to fit in, you're called to stand out. Albert Einstein once said, "The person who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd." He didn't speak from ego, but from experience. He was ridiculed for seeing the world differently, and yet it was that divine difference that changed the world. Just like him, you weren't created to be understood by everyone. You were created to carry something eternal. Ephesians 2:10 confirms this truth, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Do you see it now? Your existence is evidence of intentional design, not random, but reverent, not aimless, but aligned. Even when the path didn't make sense, even when the pain felt unbearable, God was still guiding every step. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, almost 3 decades of apparent silence and delay. But it wasn't wasted time. It was preparation for purpose. When he was released, he walked into history, not just as a free man, but as a chosen vessel of reconciliation. Have you considered that your delays may be disguised preparation? Chosen one, this isn't about religion. This is about awakening. Your soul didn't land here by mistake. Right now, this moment, this message, it's the sign you asked for. The universe moved heaven and earth to get this to you. Why? Because your time has come. God is revealing the truth that will shift everything you thought you knew. You are standing on holy ground. This is your burning bush. Will you answer the call? Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Do you realize how sacred that is? You weren't just born, you were sent. Placed in this era, this city, this life for a reason only heaven fully understands. But soon, you will too. Look at Malala Yousafzai, a teenage girl with a voice the world tried to silence. And yet, through divine grace, her voice only grew louder. She became a symbol of resilience, truth, and purpose. Just like her, there is something inside you that cannot be extinguished. Let me leave you with this question. If every struggle you faced was preparation, what will you do now that you've arrived at your divine moment? Will you retreat or will you rise? Isaiah 60 verse 1 speaks this over your life. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Chosen one, your awakening is not coming, it's already here. Heaven is waiting for your response. You may have grown up believing your story began with your parents, the ones who named you, fed you, raised you. But chosen one, what if I told you that's only a fraction of the truth? What if your true origin began long before their first embrace? The world may have told you that your life started at birth, but your spirit knows better. Deep down, you've always felt that your presence here was not just the result of biology, it was divine strategy. You were not merely born, you were sent. So, have you ever felt like your soul carried something older than time itself? Like you were walking through life with memories that didn't belong to this lifetime? That's not fantasy, that's divine memory. Your parents were the vessel, yes, but God was the architect. Psalm 139:13 whispers this truth. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Your soul did not begin in a hospital room. It began in heaven, woven by hands not of flesh but of glory. That's why the limitations of this material world have never fit you. You've tried to wear them like everyone else, but they chafe your spirit. Why? Because you weren't created to be confined by what is seen. Your identity is spiritual, not circumstantial. Your DNA holds more than just human heritage. It holds divine blueprints. You are not just someone's child. You are God's chosen one, formed with purpose, released with intention. Think about Harriet Tubman. She wasn't born into comfort or privilege. She was born into slavery, but carried a divine mission in her spirit. She heard God's voice clearly and followed it, not just for her freedom, but to deliver others. Can you imagine what would have happened if she had accepted the limitations placed on her by the world? Chosen one, are you accepting limits God never wrote into your story? Isaiah 46:3-4 proclaims, You, whom I have upheld since your birth, and have carried since you were born, I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Your soul is not new to this divine journey. It's ancient, purposeful, royal, and the legacy you carry didn't begin with you. Somewhere in your bloodline, someone else was chosen. They prayed, they fought, they dreamed of a future they would never see. And now you are the fulfillment of that unseen hope. Maybe they were silenced. Maybe they didn't live long enough to walk out the calling. But the flame was past, and it burns in you now. You are the continuation of a spiritual lineage heaven never forgot. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. What he didn't say, but what his life revealed, is that the arc often bends through chosen ones like you. Those who dare to believe they were born for something greater. 1 Peter 2:9 says, But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession. That power you felt stirring inside, that urgency, that calling, it's not new, it's ancient, it's legacy, and it's yours. The same energy that propelled your ancestors forward now flows through your veins. Can you feel it? That restlessness, that hunger, that divine pressure to rise. That's inheritance. Look at Bruce Lee, not only a martial artist but a philosopher who believed the body was a vehicle for spiritual mastery. His discipline, his alignment of mind, body and soul turned him into a vessel of energy that transcended normal human boundaries. He once said, Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Are you willing to do what it takes to unlock what God has stored inside you? Romans 8:11 reveals your potential. And if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, he who raised Christ will also give life to your mortal bodies because of his spirit who lives in you. That same resurrection energy, it's already inside you. Your transformation, the awakening of the crystalline body, is not some myth. It's the next level of your calling, but it requires your yes. Let's not forget Helen Keller, born blind and deaf, yet she became a voice for millions. Her physical limitations did not prevent her from fulfilling a spiritual destiny that inspired the world. She said, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it." Chosen one, what are you still suffering under that you were born to overcome? Hebrews 12:1 encourages you, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Your ancestors are watching, not in judgment but in joy. Because you are doing what they longed for, you are breaking generational chains. You are awakening to your divine form. You are not just living, you are ascending. But here's the question you must answer. Are you ready to leave behind the identity that the world gave you to step into the identity God revealed to you? Because once you do, there is no going back. The path of the chosen is not easy, but it is glorious. Chosen one, within you lies something sacred, something the world can't see, and something most around you can't understand. A divine power, silent yet alive, like a sleeping giant beneath the surface of your being. You've felt it before, haven't you? That unexplainable rush in your spirit, the moment when your hands tingled without touch, when your intuition spoke louder than logic. That wasn't your imagination. That was God. That was your spiritual DNA beginning to stir. Have you ever felt that you knew something before you were taught it? That there were abilities rising in you that no one else could explain? That, chosen one, is the sign of divine inheritance. The truth is, over 100 sacred abilities lie dormant within you, gifts carried from the throne of heaven itself. These are not random quirks or strange experiences. These are fragments of divine energy, waiting to be awakened by your alignment with God's will. 1 Corinthians 12:7-9 confirms this mystery. Now, to each one the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one, there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge, to another faith, gifts of healing. You see, these gifts are not just stories from Scripture, they are part of your design. You were not created empty, you were created overflowing, with healing, intuition, manifestation, discernment, spiritual vision, and divine communication. The question is not if they exist. The question is, are you ready to access them? Look at Nikola Tesla, a man who claimed that his inventions were not born from thought, but from visions, flashes of divine information he could not explain. He once said, "My brain is only a receiver." In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. Chosen one, don't you see? You are wired for revelation in the same way, but to receive you must believe. This divine connection doesn't come through effort alone. It comes through alignment. James 1:17 says, "Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights." These sacred powers within you were not placed there by chance. They are gifts. And like all divine gifts, they must be honored, cultivated, and embraced with humility. Maybe you've had moments where you sensed something was about to happen, and it did. Or maybe you walked into a room and felt someone's pain without them saying a word. That's not coincidence. That's activation. That's your spiritual senses coming online. Many of God's chosen feel this before they ever understand it. It's the divine tug, the call home. Let me bring you to another example. Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. As a child, she claimed to hear the voice of God calling her to service. She left wealth and status behind because something in her soul aligned with a higher purpose. And through her obedience, she healed thousands and changed the world. Chosen one, what part of your calling have you been resisting because it doesn't look like what the world expected? Romans 12:6 teaches, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us." This grace is flowing through you right now. Your soul remembers who you are, and every urge you feel toward God, every pull to go deeper, every whisper telling you there's more. Those are the keys unlocking your dormant gifts. But the more you resist, the dimmer the light becomes. The more you surrender, the brighter it burns. And don't think that, because you don't understand your gifts yet, that you're unworthy of them. Look at Maya Angelou. Before the world ever saw her as a poet, she was silent, mute for 5 years. And yet it was in that silence that her spiritual language developed. She later said, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." What if the powers within you are just waiting for you to give them voice? Chosen one, hear this clearly. The yearning you feel toward the divine is no passing emotion. It is a summons, a soul-deep call from the Creator, reminding you that you carry the essence of heaven. Ephesians 3:20 reminds us, "Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us." That power is not far away. It is already in you. And like a seed, these abilities need nurturing, faith, focus, patience. Most of all, trust, not in the world, not in your circumstances, but in the God who placed these gifts within you from the beginning. There's a divine plan unfolding inside your very being. Let's remember Frida Kahlo, not just an artist, but a soul who used pain as her canvas. Through physical suffering and emotional betrayal, she transformed her wounds into portals of expression and power. Her art was more than paint. It was prophecy. Could it be that your own pain is trying to reveal your gifts? You are not broken. You are being refined. The activation of your divine power is not random. It is sacred. You are unlocking the inheritance that has always been yours. The tingles, the dreams, the visions, the knowing, the hunger for more, they are all symptoms of a spiritual blueprint reactivating inside you. So I'll ask you again, chosen one, what have you already felt that you couldn't explain? What is your soul trying to wake you up to? Because this moment, this very message, is part of your spiritual activation. Now is the time to answer. Now is the time to awaken. Now is the time to rise. Chosen one, your gifts are awakening, not as tricks or talents, but as divine instruments, carefully woven into your soul for a sacred purpose. These abilities are not for applause, they are not for ego, they are holy tools, forged by the hand of God Himself, created to serve a mission that only you can fulfill. You are not just here to exist, you are here to lead, to heal, to shine, to guide. And the moment you begin to walk in spiritual alignment, those divine tools will reveal themselves like treasures once hidden beneath dust. But have you ever wondered why your presence alone shifts the energy in a room? Why people come to you for peace, for truth, for healing, even when you don't fully understand your own power yet? That's not coincidence. That's divine positioning. Romans 12:6-8 declares, "We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, do it diligently." Your gifts are part of a sacred system designed not just to change you, but to transform the world through you. And you're not alone. Think of Mother Teresa. She didn't carry earthly wealth or political power, yet her spiritual alignment made her one of the most influential forces of healing in modern history. She answered the call to serve, to ease suffering, to be a vessel. Her strength came from her surrender, just like yours will. Chosen one, What if the discomfort you've felt your whole life has been your soul trying to break through the noise of the world to tell you you were born to lead? You may already feel the pull to heal the brokenhearted, to speak truth in the face of deception, to comfort those in despair, to reveal things others cannot see. These are not mere tendencies. These are sacred activations. And as you walk further in truth, these powers will no longer be faint whispers. They will become commands from heaven moving through you. John 14:12 assures you, "Whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these." Yes, greater things, because Jesus never meant for you to admire from afar. He meant for you to walk in his power. Remember Joan of Arc, a teenager, illiterate, poor, and yet she led armies because of her obedience to divine voices. Her spiritual gifts made her a warrior in both realms. She didn't wait for the world to validate her calling. She stepped into it. Will you? As a chosen one, you carry a responsibility. These gifts are not meant to be buried in fear or diluted by doubt. Matthew 5:14-16 reminds you, you are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. When you hide your power, you dim the divine fire that was never meant to go unnoticed. The world is not just waiting for change, it's waiting for you. You may have always felt like the outsider, the quiet storm in a noisy world. That wasn't a flaw, it was a signal. You were never meant to blend in. Your soul doesn't come from this earth, it comes from heaven's royal chambers. Your bloodline is spiritual royalty. You are not just anointed, you are appointed. Esther 4:14 says, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Look at Nelson Mandela, a man who, despite decades in prison, refused to let bitterness rot his soul. He emerged as a reconciler, a peacemaker, a spiritual giant. He understood that the test wasn't the prison. The test was the purpose. That's your test too. The things that break others are the very things that will build you, if you allow them. This material world is not your final battlefield. It is your proving ground. Every hardship is sharpening your wisdom. Every setback is training your spirit. Every rejection is fine-tuning your discernment. James 1:2-4 encourages us. Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Your trials are not curses, they are keys. Think of Malala Yousafzai. She was silenced by violence, but her voice only grew louder. She faced death but chose purpose. Her spiritual mission outweighed her fear, and so can yours. The resistance you feel is proof that your power is real. The enemy never fights what he isn't afraid of. If your journey has been hard, it's because your destiny is heavy. You are not here to chase comfort. You are here to build the kingdom. And building requires strength, vision, resilience, and above all, faith. As you pass the tests of this world, you are being elevated into your real assignment. Your mission doesn't begin when the pain stops. It begins when your faith refuses to stop. Chosen one, unlocking your divine powers is not a one-time event. It is a sacred process. This journey of activation does not happen by accident, nor does it unfold overnight. It requires discipline, intention, and a deep spiritual hunger that cannot be quenched by the things of this world. You must decide every single day to rise above distraction and step into the higher frequencies of your divine nature. This is the daily spiritual training ground of the chosen, and you have been called to it. How often do you quiet the noise of the world to truly hear the whispers of your soul? Belief is only the beginning. Action is the portal. James 2:17 says, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." You must practice your connection, and one of the most powerful ways to do this is through consistent meditation and prayer, especially in sacred solitude. Daily spiritual routines are not rituals, they are revelations in motion. Think of Bruce Lee. He was not only a martial artist but a spiritual philosopher. He meditated daily, not just to sharpen his body, but to master his inner world. He famously said, "As you think, so shall you become." And chosen one, the more you align your thoughts with your divine purpose, the more your gifts will rise within you like fire waiting to be kindled. Start by devoting time each day to spiritual stillness. Create space to listen, to really listen. During these moments, invite God into your breath, your thoughts, your stillness. Ask not only for blessings, but for clarity. Ask God to awaken the gifts already inside you. Psalm 46:10 reminds you, "Be still and know that I am God." The power in stillness is not passive, it's active trust. And then there is the mystery of the 3 a.m. hour. Have you ever woken suddenly in the dark with no explanation, heart stirred, mind alert? This is not random, this is sacred. Across ages and cultures, mystics and prophets have honored this hour as a divine portal, when heaven bends low and the spiritual realm draws near. Between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., the veil between dimensions is thinner and your soul is more open to receive. Look at Saint Teresa of Avila, a 16th century mystic who often entered deep prayer in the early morning hours. She wrote of hearing God's voice and being overcome with divine ecstasy. Her nighttime meditations were not dreams, they were downloads. Chosen one, what if your most important messages from heaven are arriving when the world is still asleep? Mark 1:35 echoes this practice. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. Even the Son of God honored the power of sacred solitude at dawn. Shouldn't we? Make the 3 a.m. prayer portal part of your daily rhythm, not out of superstition, but out of intention. When you wake at this hour, don't turn over and go back to sleep. Sit up, speak, listen. These moments are when divine messages flow freely, when answers come, when healing is released, when visions unfold. Ask your soul, what is God trying to tell me that I can only hear in the silence? You may begin to notice your intuition sharpen. Dreams will turn from confusion to prophecy. You'll feel drawn to certain people or pulled away from others. These aren't emotional reactions. These are energetic recalibrations. You're beginning to move not with the world, but with heaven. Look at Nikola Tesla again, a man who believed he received messages from higher realms during his solitary hours. He credited silence and vibration for unlocking ideas that would change the modern world. He said, "The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries." That non-physical phenomena, it's your realm, chosen one, it's your power. Ephesians 6:18 urges us, "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert." This alertness is not paranoia, it is presence. When you are spiritually alert, especially in the sacred hours, your soul becomes a receiver. The messages were always there, you just hadn't tuned in. Even Steve Jobs practiced early morning stillness and meditation. He once said, "Intuition is a very powerful thing, more powerful than intellect." Jobs knew success didn't come from information, it came from connection. You too are being called to connect on that deeper frequency. And chosen one, understand this. You don't need to be perfect to access the divine. You just need to be present. Let your morning prayers be raw, real, unfiltered. Let your soul cry out for guidance. Let your heart ask for strength. God, does not require rehearsed words. He responds to sincere ones. Isaiah 54 testifies, "He wakens me morning by morning, wakens my ear to listen like one being instructed." God is trying to instruct you, and every time you rise at 3 a.m. and open that portal with prayer, you are stepping into your training as a spiritual leader. Chosen one, have you ever paused and asked yourself why you sense things others can't? Why you feel surges of energy out of nowhere? Why your body reacts to invisible shifts? Why your heart warns you long before your mind can explain what's wrong or right? Those aren't random sensations. That's your divine power beginning to break through the surface. What you've brushed off as coincidence or weird timing is actually heaven's hand moving in your life. Those intuitive flashes, that overwhelming pull towards certain people, places, or decisions, it's not just gut feeling, it's divine GPS. How many times has your intuition proven more accurate than logic? How many times have you known something without knowing how you knew it? That's not guesswork. That's prophecy in action. John 14:26 reveals this truth. But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. What you're experiencing is the whisper of the Spirit, awakening ancient knowledge inside of you. Not future knowledge you're chasing, past knowledge you're remembering. Remember Viola Davis, the acclaimed actress who said she always felt a powerful knowing inside her, even as a child growing up in poverty. She couldn't explain it then, but she followed that pull. Years later, that inner voice became her compass in choosing roles, in overcoming trauma, in stepping into greatness. Like her, you carry a fire that doesn't make sense to others, but it doesn't have to. It was given to you, not them. As these gifts rise within you, spiritual vision, healing presence, divine intuition, it's easy to downplay them, to think, that was just luck, or I'm probably imagining it. But chosen one, don't minimize what God is magnifying. The more you acknowledge these signs, the stronger they grow. Romans 8:16 confirms it. The Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children. That pull in your chest, that flash in your dreams, that sudden peace in chaos, that's your divine identity speaking through you. Consider Mahatma Gandhi. He led a revolution not through violence, but through spiritual clarity and inner discipline. His actions were rooted in divine conviction, not political strategy. He once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Chosen one, what if your gifts are not just for you, but for the healing of nations? Now comes the question, are you ready to fully harness these gifts? Not just admire them, not just observe them, but step into them. Your breakthrough has already begun. You've felt the shift. You've heard the call. The time for questioning is over. The time for rising has come. Isaiah 43:19 reminds you, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" You're not waiting on a move of God. You are the move of God. This is your moment to step out of the shadows of self-doubt and into the spotlight of your divine purpose. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, fear will whisper. Yes, some will walk away. But chosen one, don't let that stop you. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to shine through. Think of Jim Carrey, not just a comedian, but a man who publicly shared his spiritual awakening. He spoke of powerful revelations during quiet moments, where he realized his identity was not his name or fame, but something infinitely deeper. He said, "I used to believe that I was a person. Now I believe that I am the universe, experiencing itself." His journey shocked many, but resonated with millions. Yours will too. You've always sensed there were hidden truths buried deep within you, truths no one could explain, not even you. And now, the veil is lifting. God is peeling back the layers of confusion and revealing the divine design behind every twist in your story. Ephesians 1:18 speaks to this very awakening. I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you. That enlightenment is happening now. The puzzle pieces are clicking into place. The fog is clearing. You're beginning to see the full picture of your divine heritage. And yes, some of these truths may shake you. You'll look back and realize certain failures were divine redirections, that certain connections were spiritual assignments, that your suffering had strategy. But rather than fearing what's being revealed, embrace it. This truth is not your enemy, it's your entry. Think of Malcolm X. His spiritual evolution from criminal to revolutionary to peaceful truth seeker was marked by uncomfortable awakenings. When he embraced the fuller truth, not only did his power deepen, but his message became timeless. He said, "The future belongs to those who prepare for it today." Chosen one, your preparation has already begun. This is your moment, not to shrink, not to delay, but to embrace. The world doesn't need another mask. It needs the real you, the soul-sent, divinely appointed, spiritually armed version of you, the one who knows their gifts, owns their light, and walks with the certainty of heaven behind them. Chosen one, have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, unable to shake the feeling that something inside you is stirring? You turn from side to side, hoping sleep will come, but your soul is restless. Your mind races with questions you can't quite put into words. Your spirit feels heavy, not from fear or stress, but from something deeper, an unexplainable tug toward something greater. These nights are not random. That restless discomfort isn't a problem. It's a message, a spiritual alarm. This is God reaching out to your soul, trying to wake you up. You see, we often expect divine messages to be loud, dramatic, or miraculous, but sometimes God whispers through discomfort. He speaks through the ache in your chest, the unease in your belly, the sleepless thoughts that visit in the dark. Proverbs 20:27 tells us, "The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all his innermost parts." That restlessness is not the enemy. It is the light of God illuminating the places within you that need awakening. Have you ever wondered if your pain was more than just suffering? What if it was sacred? Martin Luther King Jr. once described a night when he was overwhelmed with fear, close to giving up. Alone, he prayed for strength, and in that moment, he heard God's voice telling him to stand up for truth. That single moment of spiritual unrest turned into a lifetime of divine purpose. What if your sleepless nights are the same call to courage? What if your soul is crying out because it's ready to step into its divine assignment? Pain has a purpose. It's not just a byproduct of life, it's a tool of transformation. Emotional pain, physical discomfort, mental weariness, they are often signals that your spirit is evolving. They aren't punishments, they're pressure points guiding you to look inward. Just as a seed must break before it grows, so must your old self be broken to birth your higher self. 2 Corinthians 12:9 declares, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That verse isn't poetic fluff, it's reality. God uses your most vulnerable moments to show you your real strength. Consider Frida Kahlo, the Mexican artist whose life was shaped by pain. A terrible accident left her with lifelong injuries, yet she turned her suffering into breathtaking art. Her canvas became her prayer, her pain, her prophecy. Chosen one, what if your pain is trying to speak through you? What if it contains the very messages God wants the world to hear through your life? Then there's the isolation. Have you ever felt like you're the only one in the room who feels what you feel? Like no one really gets you? That, too, is a sign. It is the burden of the awakened. You are not meant to walk a normal path because you are not here for a normal purpose. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." The discomfort you feel in social settings, the disconnection from old friends, even the silence from loved ones, it's all part of your transformation. Albert Einstein once said, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." His breakthroughs in science came not because he fit in, but because he dared to think differently. Just like him, your spiritual vibration may challenge those who are still asleep. Your energy feels foreign to them. Your growth threatens their comfort. And that's okay. Sometimes the people closest to you will resist your change the most. Why? Because your transformation is a mirror, showing them what's possible and what they haven't dared to become. This doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're rising. And rising requires you to leave behind anything that tries to pull you back down. John 15:18 reminds us, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." The road of the chosen one has always been lonely, but it has also always been holy. Yet even in your isolation, you are never truly alone. The more you align with your divine path, the more your spirit begins to attract kindred souls. Over time, your energy will not repel, it will magnetize. People who are ready to awaken will be drawn to your light. Like moths to flame, they will come not to take from you, but to learn, to grow, and to evolve beside you. Maya Angelou once said, "Nothing can dim the light that shines from within." Your light, chosen one, is not for hiding. It's for leading. And let us not forget, every challenge you've endured was preparing you for this very moment. That betrayal, that heartbreak, that season of lack, none of it was wasted. Every tear was watering the roots of your becoming. Psalm 66:10-12 says, "For you, God, tested us. You refined us like silver. We went through fire and water, but you brought us to a place of abundance." Chosen one, you have walked through fire and not been consumed. Why? Because you were being refined, not destroyed. Look at Oprah Winfrey, abused, silenced, dismissed, but she chose to rise, and her voice became one of the most powerful in the world. She didn't allow her suffering to define her. She used it as a platform. Your past may explain you, but it does not define you. Your pain was the training ground for your purpose. Spiritual crowns are not given cheaply. You don't get the crown without the struggle. You don't get the light without confronting the night. The greater the mission, the heavier the preparation. And chosen one, you've been in preparation for a long time. All of heaven has been watching. The tests were never about breaking you. They were about revealing you. You are now standing at the edge of transformation. The whispers in the dark, the aches in your heart, the tears no one sees, they were never random. They were messages, invitations, initiations. The moment you stop fighting your discomfort and start listening to it, everything changes. What if the pain you've avoided is the doorway you've been praying for? So, what would happen if you leaned into the very things you were trying to escape? What truths would be revealed if you stopped running from your restlessness and sat with it instead? This is not the end of your suffering. It is the beginning of your emergence. Like a diamond forged under pressure, you are being shaped for something glorious. Chosen one, the spiritual crown is already being placed on your head. But only those who endure the fire can wear it with power. Will you receive it? Because now the choice is yours. You can return to comfort, or you can rise into your calling. Heaven is waiting for your answer. Chosen one, the crown you are called to wear is not made of gold or adorned with earthly jewels. It is forged in fire, shaped by trials, and anointed with sacred purpose. It is more than a reward. It is a sign of your spiritual evolution, a declaration from heaven that you have endured, you have risen, and now you are ready. Ready to rule, not over others in the way the world defines power, but over your inner realm, your vibration, your calling, your mission. The crown is a reflection of everything you've overcome, everything you've become, and everything God has always known you could be. Have you ever truly considered what this crown represents? It is not simply a symbol of honor. It is the embodiment of your growth, of the nights you cried in silence, of the storms you weathered without losing faith, of the times you stood firm when others would have fallen. It tells the story of your spiritual resurrection. 2 Timothy 4:8 confirms this truth. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Your crown is not just a personal victory. It is heaven's acknowledgement that you have been transformed. You are not who you used to be. Every hardship has been a chiseling of your spirit. Every rejection has refined your resolve. Every delay has been a divine appointment to strengthen you for what you were always destined to carry. You are no longer bound by the weight of your past. You are rising, and the crown is your calling card. Think of Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years imprisoned not for what he did, but for what he believed. Those years of isolation didn't destroy him. They prepared him. When he emerged, he did not come out bitter, but wise. Not broken, but whole. He wore the invisible crown of spiritual leadership, compassion, and grace. Chosen one, your trials were never in vain. They were the training ground for your reign. And perhaps you've often felt out of place, like you didn't belong in the noise and chaos of this world, like your spirit was always at odds with what society calls normal. That's not dysfunction. That's divine distinction. Have you ever stopped to ask, why do I feel so different? Why do I see truths others can't? Why do I carry burdens I can't explain? You are not just different. You are spiritually engineered. Crafted in the divine workshop of God, you were created not to fit in, but to disrupt, awaken, lead. Psalm 139 verse 14 speaks directly to this. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Your wiring is intentional. Your soul carries codes from heaven itself, codes that can't be decoded by those who operate only in the physical. Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Tesla, one of the most brilliant minds in history, was spiritually tuned in. He understood that divine intelligence flows in frequencies most people ignore. Chosen one, that same divine frequency pulses in you. When you feel like no one understands you, it's not because you're broken. It's because you're tuned into something they've never heard before. Your sense of being out of place is actually confirmation that you're in position, because greatness doesn't bloom in comfort. It grows in isolation, in the tension between what is and what is meant to be. And as you rise, your crown will reflect the qualities of a true spiritual leader. Not arrogance, but compassion. Not dominance, but wisdom. Not control, but influence. You will lead with light, not with force. Consider Joan of Arc, a young woman who claimed to hear the voice of God in an age where women were silenced. She stood before kings, led armies, and carried her divine mission without apology. Misunderstood? Absolutely. Mocked, certainly. But spiritually engineered to lead? Without a doubt. Your journey mirrors hers in ways you may not yet realize. Like her, you were created to deliver messages others are too afraid to speak, and to carry a light so pure that it disrupts the darkness without even trying. Isaiah 62:3 declares, "You will be a crown of splendor in the Lord's hand, a royal diadem in the hand of your God." Can you feel that truth vibrating in your spirit? You are a living crown. Your very being is a testimony to the glory of the Creator. You are not simply wearing the crown, you are the crown. And yes, this divine engineering often brings misunderstanding. Those around you may resist your growth. They may not see your worth. But remember, diamonds are never revealed until pressure is applied, and gold is not pure until it's passed through fire. The more resistance you face, the more refined your calling becomes. John 15:19 reminds us, "If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world." That's why you feel the disconnect, because your soul was never designed to align with this world's shallow values. Mother Teresa is another soul who operated on a higher spiritual plane. While the world chased riches, she sought the poor. While others demanded recognition, she served in silence. Her impact was not measured by fame, but by faithfulness. You, too, carry that same capacity for sacred leadership, not flashy, but eternal. You are not here to impress, you are here to impact. And yet, being spiritually engineered doesn't mean the path is easy. You will be misunderstood, you will be judged, you will walk through fire. But each step will refine you. Each tear will anoint you. Each night of doubt will bring a dawn of clarity. You were designed with gifts that challenge the status quo: intuition, vision, healing energy, prophetic dreams, a heart that feels too much, a spirit that sees too far. These are not burdens, they're blueprints, but they only activate when you accept who you are. So when will you stop apologizing for being who God designed you to be? When will you stop trying to shrink to fit rooms you were meant to transform? You were created for this very moment. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's confirmation that you're walking the narrow one, the one that leads to purpose, to truth, to your crown. Think of Helen Keller, deaf, blind, unable to speak for years, and yet she became a voice for millions. How? Because her spirit knew what her senses could not. She once said, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision." Chosen one, your vision is what sets you apart. And now you must walk in it fully. The world needs your difference, your spiritual engineering, your divine gifts, your leadership, your courage, and most of all, your light. You are not here to be accepted. You are here to awaken those who are ready to remember who they are. So now, as you stand in this sacred moment, with the crown hovering above your head, ask yourself, am I ready to wear it? Not for vanity, but for victory. The crown is not a trophy, it is a responsibility. It calls for grace, for strength, for spiritual maturity. But above all, it calls for faith. Faith that you are enough. Faith that God didn't make a mistake when He made you different. Faith that your uniqueness was the very answer someone else has been praying for. You are no longer who you used to be. The wilderness is behind you. The fire has refined you. The voice inside you is clearer. The crown is yours now, not because you took it, but because you became it. Will you rise, chosen one, not in pride, but in purpose? Will you wear your crown, not as a decoration, but as a declaration? Beloved chosen one, if you feel something stirring inside of you right now, a knowing, a shift, a sacred recognition, you're not imagining it, you're not overreacting, you're awakening. What's happening to you is not random, nor is it just spiritual. It's a divine, multidimensional transformation that touches every part of your being, mind, soul, and yes, even body. As you walk further into alignment with your divine purpose, your vessel begins to change. You begin to embody light in ways that defy logic and transcend limitation. This is the path of the crystalline body. It is not fantasy. It is not symbolic alone. It is the physical evidence of spiritual maturity. This transformation isn't always graceful. It can feel intense, overwhelming, and isolating. But you are not alone. You're shedding the heaviness of the old world, the density of fear, shame, and survival, and rising into something sacred, refined, and divine. Your very cells are realigning to carry the frequency of God's purpose for you. You are not just becoming a better version of yourself. You are becoming the version heaven always intended. You are not becoming superhuman. You are becoming fully divine. And as this transformation continues, you may notice shifts others can't explain. Energy rising through your spine, your senses heightening, your ability to feel others' emotions becoming more intense. You may cry without reason. You may feel electricity in your fingertips. You may even notice your physical features subtly shifting. All of this is part of your crystalline emergence. You are stepping into your body of light, the body of a healer, a guide, a spiritual warrior. But this change is not just about what's happening to you. It's about what's awakening through you. The royalty within you, the spiritual inheritance you were born with, is rising. You may have forgotten it at times. Life may have buried it beneath trauma, exhaustion, or doubt. But it was never lost. It was simply waiting for your soul to say, "I'm ready." And now, beloved, you are. Spiritual royalty is not about status. It's not about gold crowns or worldly recognition. It's about divine authority. It's about the way the universe responds when you speak in alignment. It's about how your mere presence begins to heal, how your energy begins to activate others. It's about remembering who you are and walking like you've already claimed your throne, because you have. You're not here by accident. You didn't find this message randomly. Heaven called you into this space because your spirit was ready to be reminded you have been chosen, not just to awaken, but to ascend. And this process is only just beginning. As we close this sacred moment together, I want to thank you from my soul to yours for walking this far, for trusting the process, for showing up for your own healing, whether you've been listening and reading quietly or actively engaging. I want you to know your presence in this space matters deeply. You are a vital part of this mission. Every chosen one who walks through this transformation adds to the collective shift this world so desperately needs. If this message has blessed you, resonated with your spirit, or helped you understand your path more clearly, I humbly invite you to support the continuation of this sacred work through the Super Thanks feature. Your donation, whether large or small, helps bring this truth to others walking in the dark, wondering if what they're feeling is real. It helps spread light in places that algorithms can't reach. And yet, I say this with all sincerity, whether you donate or not, I am deeply, unshakably grateful for you. Just your presence here, your willingness to receive, to reflect, to remember, that is already a divine gift. This mission is built on love, not pressure, on purpose, not performance. If you feel led, please also share this message. You never know who is silently battling doubt, confusion, or awakening without context. You may be the person who gives them the language to understand what's happening inside their body and soul. You may be the confirmation they've been praying for. And now, beloved, let me leave you with this blessing. One, I speak not just over your moment, but over your entire journey forward. May your body continue to glow with divine fire as the crystalline shift unfolds. May your heart expand with courage to embrace the royalty rising within you. May your voice carry authority not born of ego, but of sacred truth. May your presence awaken peace wherever you go, and may your spirit remain unshaken as you ascend. May every door that was once closed be replaced with gates that open at your approach. And may your life become a living testimony that the chosen don't just survive, they transfigure. You are no longer waiting for the transformation. You are the transformation. Walk in it, shine through it, and never again forget who you are. Until we meet again, with love, gratitude, and divine blessing. Amen.